dignitaries and the participants for this national webinar on the topic Financial Literacy Among Women. The college has been conducting a series of webinars, national and international. Till today, hundreds of webinars have been conducted on various topics related with different fields, and these are proving beneficial for students, researchers, teachers, those people who wish to enrich knowledge and have knowledge. The attempt is becoming successful because of the chief organizer and chairperson, Honorable Principal Dr. M. Ambedkar sir. In the beginning of this webinar, I welcome him as the chairperson of this webinar. I am also very pleased to welcome today's dignitary, an invited speaker, Honorable Komal Kapoor ma'am from IMS Ghaziabad University. She is going to enlighten us on all aspects of the financial literacy among women. On behalf of the organizing committee of webinar series, Shri Kumarswami College, Ausa, once again, I welcome you ma'am heartily as the invited speaker. I also welcome all honorable organizing committee members, Vice Principal Dr. S.D. Misal sir, MCVC Coordinator Praveen Udge sir, Junior College Coordinator Ravindra Karanji sir, IQAC Coordinator Dr. Sanjay Kare sir, Dr. Anita Dhole ma'am, Dr. Sudhir Garad sir, Ambadas Khillari sir, Dr. Patwari sir, and Dr. Wadkar sir. We all are very eager to listen the speech about the topic. But before that, I request Dr. Anita Dhole ma'am to introduce today's honorable keynote speaker. Please ma'am, welcome.
Thank you sir. On occasion of Golden Jubilee year of the college, Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya Ausa has organized a wonderful grand knowledge sharing webinar series. Respected Principal and Chief Organizer Dr. Ambedkar MM has arranged this series with the motto of women empowerment and women dignity. And this series is going on very successfully and systematically because of the hard working and motivational personality respected Dr. Ambedkar MM and all the resource persons and the punctual participants. I am very thankful to respected principal for giving me this opportunity to introduce resource person on this virtual platform, and many special thanks goes to organizing committee members and a big thanks to all the respected participants. Those are joining daily from all over India and abroad also, and they are making a very successful series. So I am here to introduce today's keynote speaker, Honorable Komal Kapoor ma'am, IMS Ghaziabad University. Title of speech is Financial Literacy Among Women. She is working as assistant professor at School of Management, MIB, IMS Ghaziabad. Komal ma'am is a research-oriented academician, an enthusiastic educator, and an avid reader with rich experience of over 2 decades in teaching, research, and student development. She has key areas of teaching and learning have been marketing strategy, brand management, ethics, and CSR entrepreneurship development. She is deeply involved in inculcating research orientation among the team members and students with innovative teaching pedagogical tools. She focuses on being mentor and guide to students through inputs for personal and professional development. She contributed meaningfully in institution building activities through organizing conferences, seminars, etc. She has published research papers in reputed journals and chapters in book in international publishers like Tyler Francis, CRC, Emerland. Sorry. She seeks to develop herself in the area of design thinking, creativity and innovation, critical thinking, entrepreneurship for the benefit of her students and her own academic growth. So after this introduction, I would like to request today's keynote speaker, Honorable Komal ma'am, please start your speech. Thank you.
Madam, you are not audible. Please check your audio setting. Unmute yourself, first icon. तर मलाच ऐकू येत नाही मॅडम, बरोबर आहे का? नो 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 मॅडम. उघाडे सर, येतोय का आवाज?
सर तुमचा आवाज येतोय मला.
मॅडमचा येत नाही ना, तेच मला वाटलं मॅडमचा मला येत नाही.
मॅडमचा येत नाहीये सर.
बरोबर.
गुड इव्हनिंग सर.
गुड
सर
इव्हनिंग.
मॅडमचा आवाज येत नाही सर.
बरोबर. प्लीज चेक युअर, अदरवाइज यू कॅन जॉईन विथ मोबाईल मॅडम, without laptop. Mobile is easy for, and you see the screen of your laptop and just join from mobile. That will be sufficient because mobile can catch the sound very perfectly than laptop if there are setting to be adjusted. Or you may you go to the settings.
So now am I audible, sir?
Yes, perfect.
Now is it okay?
Yes.
You are audible now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I think there was some problem with the microphone. Right. So thank you so much, Anita ma'am, and I am highly grateful to Dr. Bedkar for giving this opportunity to me. So as ma'am said, my key areas are in the area of marketing and strategy plus entrepreneurship, and I've been a teacher for last 20 years. And this topic today, financial literacy for women, is actually very close to my heart because I feel that over the last 20 years, I have gradually developed this interest in gaining more knowledge and understanding about the financial world. Because when you start earning and you become part of the workforce, it's very important that you learn to put your money into the right avenues and also learn the advantages and disadvantages of all the possible avenues. Because as we grow in life, we also develop our financial responsibilities and certain financial goals that we have to achieve. That may be, a big car or a big house, and then saving for our kids. So I thought that developing financial literacy and creating an ecosystem where both women and men can understand what are the possible avenues available in the market, in the Indian scenario, which we can look at and we can evaluate, and our money can go into the right investment tools, so that when we reach a particular age, we are able to fulfill those goals. So I'm very happy to see that both female colleagues and male colleagues have joined today, because I wanted to share. It's a equal opportunity world. So even if some input can be given to the male members, I think the same can be communicated to their sisters, their mothers, or their wives. So I'll quickly start my session by discussing why financial literacy came to my mind and why I became so passionate about reading that how to invest, how to save, what are the right investment opportunities. It's a very not a very good story. I had a agent who was working for a family for last 15 years, and in November he had an untimely death at the age of 42, and he's survived by his wife, who's 37, and a child who's 8 years age. And I was surprised to know when that lady called me up that this has happened to my husband, and within one day, some kind of cardiac arrest he got, and then we could not save him. And now I have no information as to what he was doing with the salary, where he has invested, and there's nothing in the computer, there's nothing in the mobile phone. I have no papers, no file. So it completely shook me, because in this current digitally connected world, and such an educated people that we are dealing with, where both women education and women working has become so rampant, how can this happen that a male working member has not informed his wife about the various areas where he has invested for the child or for their retirement or any property that he has bought, and that lady had no clue. So I was completely surprised on this aspect, that we are living in an educated society, and even today these kind of things are there. Similarly, I would like to narrate another small incident which again motivated me towards my own journey of financial knowledge. One of my friend who was working in the IT sector, and so he was driving down on a bike towards his home, and he had all the laptop and everything in his bag, and he met with a very bad accident. So he expired on the spot, and the laptop was crashed and no data could be recovered. And because he was a close friend, and then we met each other later on, his wife and his kids. And I was surprised to know that again the same problem. Husband was managing all the financial matters, where to invest, what to do, and he had created an Excel file in the laptop, which wife knew. She had the password, everything. So he said that if something happens to me, it's everything in the laptop. But when this thing occurred and the laptop was crashed, so again she was all blank, because there was nothing she could get back to. All the information was there in the laptop or with the husband. The bigger loss is losing the life partner, but even the much bigger loss is what to do for the next 20 years or 30 years or 40 years. Now she had no clue what investment, what insurance, what internet banking, what passwords. She had no clue. So just to give you an idea as to the big problem that this financial illiteracy in our country that is prevailing, which is not only for the women people who are working, but also for the husbands and the brothers and the fathers who are now bringing up such children who should be financially capable in the next 20 years, 10 years. So my journey began in 2003 when I finished my master's and I joined the workforce. And from that day, I understood that this financial matters should be in my hands. I mean, I realized that I'm the one who's earning, I'm the one who's doing all the efforts in the job and everything, and I should have clear understanding as to how this money needs to be utilized. So I think I was blessed, because my father was in Canara Bank and he retired at the position of AGM. So we always had this culture in the family of saving and investment, and then think about the future, saving for the kids, meeting financial goals. So that way I think highly blessed, because the culture in the family or the upbringing was such. Plus my mother was a great budget maker, so I think I learned a few tips from her also. But I think that was not sufficient, because in the last 20 years the world has changed. What my father used to tell me, that FDs are the best option. Today we cannot say the same thing. My father, he never invested in the equity market, but today we cannot say the same thing. My father was more inclined towards, because he was in bank and he used to get good FD rates, so he was never into mutual funds. But today we cannot say the same thing. I think because we are a family of 5 people, the kind of insurance he had taken for us, that was inadequate. So today we cannot say the same thing. So I think the world and the scenario has completely changed in the last 20 years and 25 years. And developing financial knowledge and financial understanding it's a female who's working or a male who's working and taking care of a family. So there I realized that developing financial literacy, and not just literacy, even the understanding as to what are the financial tools available to us, what are the advantages and the disadvantages of each of the tool, where marketing is more prominent, whereas the tool is not that good. Because most of the things in India, like life insurance, is wrongly promoted. It is wrongly sold. And the more crucial insurance, like medical and term policies, they are undersold. And that's why India is still a very low country. So, and whatever little knowledge I have been able to, and I'll be open for any questions. All the ladies in the group and even the male members who would like to put across a question to me, I would be open for that also. So I think I'll quickly start my presentation with few slides that I have made, because I think that will give a flow to the presentation and I'll be able to touch upon everything. So allow me to please share my to discuss what I want to.
Just you click on fourth
Just give me
icon,
2 minutes.
madam. Just you click on fourth icon.
Sorry, sir.
Just you click on fourth icon, arrow, up arrow. After that you have to
So sir, I have to share your no.
yes,
I have to
after
share what I've got it.
Yes.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir. So I hope my the PPT is visible, sir.
Yes, madam. Yes.
Okay, great. So, sir, this is the core philosophy which I am going to discuss today. And quickly, I'll move on to what I want to discuss today, because like I said, that India has really changed in the last 20, 25, 30 years, but I still feel that there is a lack of information and lack of understanding. So, these decisions are still, not being shared because of many reasons. Maybe the lady is not that well educated, or maybe she's not that confident that I'll be able to manage the financial decisions well, or the lack of knowledge and experience that she may be having. Plus, obviously, women are more involved in job, then raising up, children, taking care of their education. So sometimes I feel that there is still a biasness towards why women cannot be allowed to take the very critical decisions of the family when they are completely educated and literate. So like I told you, like if I'm working in an institute where I work with around 35-40 female colleagues of different age categories and different personas, and I did a quick survey in my institute. So I'm like 40 plus, so there are other ladies who are 40 plus, then 30 plus, and then 20 plus, and I quickly questioned 25 of them just to understand the actual depth of the topic which I have chosen. And out of 25 people, almost 21 of them, 21 ladies out of 25 said that husband manages everything and we have no information what he's doing. Whatever salary I get, either I spend on myself or I give to my husband, and he takes how to save for the kids. And I was surprised to know that not even they are involved. They have no information also. Family, where my in-laws and my husband, they have been very supportive. Whether we have taken a home loan, I have been equally involved. Whether it is about the children's, admission to various programs and their fees and their other extracurricular activities, I am equally involved. Whatever my husband has been saving, like whatever policies or FDs or mutual funds, all the details I have because I'm the nominee. All the places where I am saving, he is the nominee, so he have information. I mean, so there is so much transparency between both of us, and exactly we know how are we spending the salary, what means, how are we planning for requirement. Daughters have been dependent on their fathers, and then later on their husbands, whether earning or not. That's a separate story altogether. So there is a kind of financial independence is lacking decision. They will say my decisions will go to platforms where financial information prevails. So I'll come to that also. Then I have to limit the budget of the household, because whatever money I'll give to my mom, she will spend it. Maybe not on herself, but on the kids, but the money will be over. So I have to also curtail source of data. So whatever information we get about the financial tools available and investing in shares and buying good company shares, they always raise their hands. They will say no. We have lost a lot of money in shares earlier also, lakhs of rupees, and we have just completely off from the equity market because we don't understand, we can't keep a track. So let us not waste our money there. Whatever money and interest we are getting on FD and savings account, that's sufficient for us, right? So they will play the conservative mode, and they will try to be risk averse, or they will not try to take risk. Then strategy has been very good. They have been able to create a good corpus through which they'll be able to meet their financial goals in the future. So I don't think that it's right on behalf of the ladies to just allow the husband or the brother to take all the decisions. If we are well read and we can understand the technicalities and integrities of the financial tools, I think ladies are better at budgeting. I mean, we have seen our mothers doing household budgeting so well, where they're able to manage everything and still keep all the children happy. And again, there is no scarcity. So I think ladies have this, the biological tendency of managing budget and finances very well. So moving on quickly, I'll take you to some very small data. I don't have much slides because I wanted to make it very interactive. So you can see, my dear friends, that this data is not only for India. I mean, gender difference is a worldwide gap. Whether it is the developed nations like Germany and Ireland and UK, where you can see the female responses, which are in pink, there is a huge difference where they say that don't know. I mean, many questions were asked to them about compound interest, about how various tools earn interest, and you can see the majority of responses which have gone to the higher level are from females. So this shows that there is some lack of knowledge, maybe not lack of intellect. We can generally do a better job, but only that. Similarly, there was another data which was given by OECD, where they say that there are many, that is banking, using a credit card, how to use it wisely, taking a home loan, then preparing all the paperwork, and then managing the EMIs, using a credit card, taking insurance for yourself and for the family. So again, these are basic financial concepts which they expect everyone to know. Then access to financial products and services. So which means you have products, equity market products, instruments, maybe mutual fund schemes. So you have access, means you have a demat account, you have it, and you are able to do that. This is again a very big question mark because there's a plethora of data in the market, but we really don't know which products are good, which financial tools are right, which fund houses are appropriate. So that is a very big gap which we need to focus on. Then managing credit. Again, if we take a loan and we don't know how to manage it, so we will end in huge debt. People take credit cards, but they don't know how to manage it. That's again a bigger problem. So like, my sister, she took a credit card because that was an add-on card through me, and she bought something, and she could not understand that credit card only gives you credit for a few days, 40 days, 50 days, and before that you need to make the entire payment. And somehow she defaulted on the payment, and then she kept on paying the interest and the late fee charges, and she ended up paying much more than what she bought on credit. So even managing credit cards and loans is also part of financial literacy, where a person needs to either read a lot or speak to someone who is financially sound, so that we don't end up making mistakes. I always tell my students in the class also, I teach MBA students. So I tell them in the beginning of the classes that we tend to make mistakes. It's okay. But if we can learn from the mistakes of others, that is a much better individual rather than creating the mistakes ourselves. If someone else is doing a mistake and we can learn from their experience, then we will not do the mistake ourselves. So we are always on the safer side. If we learn from the other people's mistake, we learn quickly rather than first facing the loss ourselves and then moving ahead. And then confidence when dealing with financial products, that is one big issue with the women community. Saving and investing wisely, long-term planning for retirement. Again, a survey shows that in India, retirement planning is the most ignored, especially people who are in the age of 30s and 40s, they are still not able to understand that their working life is limited. When you are in your 20s and 30s, we are very aggressive. We are full of ambition. And we think that we'll be able to, work till 65, 70 and 75. So it's okay. What is retirement? Making them understand that this money has been earned with lot of effort, with lot of hard work. And every penny counts is also a very important role of a mother or a father. Because now that we have grown up and we are earning, we also need to make our children and the next generation very wise and about value of every rupee. So I always try to help my children to understand that mama and papa, they do a lot of work and hard work to earn for you, but you must not waste the money. You understand how it's to be used. So I keep on giving them small tips so that they understand that today we are not asking too much of pocket money, so it's good for us only, because our parents will be able to save good for the education which I want to take later on, which may require a lot of money. So I think a well-read and a literate lady and a father would be definitely able to raise much wise and prudent children who would be so aware and informed at a very young age, and they will never falter in their life with respect to such financial decisions, and they will not even fall prey to wrong people who will be giving them wrong advice with respect to the various tools of where the money should be invested. So quickly I'll move on to what I want to discuss today. So the basic financial understanding which I have gained over these years is number one, there's a concept of savings, which all of us know that we earn a particular amount of money every month, and out of that we should aim at saving 50-60%. So 40-50% should be our expenditure. So I'll just quickly give a quote here. The person I follow a lot, that is Warren Buffett, and I read a lot about how he invested, what investing tips he gives. So he had a very good thing to say. What people do, income we earn, and out of income, we first make expenditure. We first spend. So education, rent, food, this, that, eating out, clothing, this, and whatever little is remaining, that we think what to invest, where to invest. Whereas what Warren Buffett, who is the world leader in financial knowledge, he says no, this is wrong. Whatever your income is, first you take out what you want to save or invest. So if you get 100 rupees and you think I want to save 50% or 60%, so first you take out that 50 rupees, put it in your various savings and investment tools wherever you want to, whether equity market or mutual funds or wherever. The remaining 40-45 rupees, under that you manage your household expense. So I think it's a very classy and ironical equation where people live by the opposite, and the richest man of the world, or among the richest, he says this: first you invest, whatever is remaining, that you use for your spending purpose, so that your automatic resources will be limited. So you will be limiting yourself, and after 10 years you will realize the importance and benefit of this activity, when you will be at a very safe position and you will not find any difficulty in managing your financial goals. The second topic is investment. That is, not just savings are important. Your money has to go in the right tools and the right avenues, so that the money earns money for you. Money lying idle in the savings account is almost like dead money. So it will serve no purpose. The money has to earn money. Then we are a wise and a prudent investor. The third thing is debt. So debt is anything that we have borrowed. Even a credit card is a debt. A home loan is a debt. Personal loan, or education loan, or car loan. These are all debt instruments. So we need to understand that how do we manage this debt based on the income that we are earning, so that we don't over exceed our debt limit also, which we cannot manage. So I always remember what my father used to tell me when we were small, that you should stretch your legs till the point your bed sheet can accommodate. So in Hindi we say that आप उतनी चादर फैलाओ जितना आपके पैर हैं, आप उतनी चादर को फैलाओ. So I think these small middle class values and savings tips which I have got from my parents and my family has really made me what I am today. Then again, one very important part of financial literacy is insurance coverage. I will just briefly touch upon, because obviously in one lecture it is not possible to discuss everything. And then last thing is future goal planning. So everyone has a small and big goals to achieve, which can be a car or a house or kids education, kids marriage, foreign vacation, or maybe your retirement. So all these things have to be understood first, and then we can allocate and plan accordingly. So I have made this small diagram. I hope it is visible to everyone. Yeah, so financial planning for me includes these four aspects, which I want every lady to understand, and also all the male members to understand. Then when we talk about savings, we are just talking about income that is there with us handy in cash or in some kind of instrument which can be easily taken out. So that investment will not really give us very good interest, but that has to be with there for our emergency fund. So things like savings account, then fixed deposit, recurring deposit, post office, Kisan Vikas Patra, which is at the post office. These are the savings tools which generally every one of us know and we make use of. The two things which I have pointed out here is EPF and PPF. So EPF is generally given by the employer with whom we work. So 12.5% they contribute, and 12.5% is in our CTC. So very important, because in a savings instrument, the rate of interest which we are getting on EPF is very high. When you see the compound value of the same, it reaches enormous level, which maybe sometimes the equity market cannot give you. The Ukraine crisis, which is currently happening, has completely shattered the market last month. So all the investment which we had made in the equity market has again become zero. So equity market is always risky. You may earn lot of money and you may also lose out all money. Sorry, sir, anything you're saying?
Nothing, ma'am. Continue, please.
And one thing which I learned from my earlier days of working was PPF, where my parents really told me that once you start working, immediately open your PPF, because this will be your retirement corpus. And I've stuck to it. Almost 15 years I've been doing it, and now every 5 years I'm going to renew it also. So I think that is one thing which I have segregated, for my retirement corpus, because I may not be earning, but I'll be keep on taking this PPF amount as an annuity or as an annual thing, and retirement 15-20 years where I won't be that capable to earn, maybe this will take care of my this thing. So PPF again is one of the best tools because it comes under the triple E exemption. So even the amount is exempted from tax, and the interest which you earn, and also when you withdraw, there is no taxation on that. On the other hand, I want to talk about the investment tools. Now, investment is something where you look for little higher returns, because you don't want them immediately. After 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, your goal will become important. Say the kids' education. So this is some money which you can give time to, and you can gradually build it up. So investment for me will start, okay, you can make property or a house. Either you start living in it or you give it on rent. But it will appreciate in next 15-20 years. Secondly, mutual fund is a very good tool of putting your money in the equity market, where you don't have to yourself learn about equity. The fund manager, will manage it. So they collect the money from manager who is financially sound. He will manage the money and put in the right equity tools. So we are saved of that problem of choosing the right equity or the mutual fund. So there are many good mutual funds, houses like HDFC and Bajaj and ICICI. Out of that, we can take help of some financial advisor, and we can choose 3-4 funds for ourselves and plan for our next 15-20 years. Then obviously equity market is one thing which I wanted to discuss about, because India is one market where the investment in equity is very low. where in US and UK and other financial hubs of the world, around 40-50% of the population, they invest in the equity market. Whereas that penetration in India is not even 10%. And the people who are there, they are the big shots. Retail investors still are, not that comfortable and confident with respect to equity investing, because neither we are well read about the same, nor we try to understand things much, nor we have the patience to track all the companies and track their performance, how they are doing in the business. So this requires obviously a lot of financial understanding, financial reading. So that is why I said equity may be risky for some people, so they can go for the mutual funds. Then number third thing which I want to cover and briefly say about is the coverage. There is a lot of wrong notion about insurance coverage in India, and life insurance has always been wrongly sold. We think life insurance is an investment tool, but it is not. It is a risk coverage tool. If something happens to you, then your family will be taken care of. But the money invested in insurance is not going to give you much returns, because they are covering you for your life risk, not really for the investment which you want to make. So you may get 3-4%, 5% maximum after 15-20 years. But that is not the purpose of insurance policy. It is primarily for covering your mishappenings in life, anything which you may not be ready for. And that's why life insurance should be taken with that perspective. Number two, medical insurance, because the medical expenses are huge. So sometimes, because of the ignorance and less awareness, the male member of the house or the lady and the kids may not be covered. So it can be very, very dangerous, because anytime something can happen and the hospital bills may be over the roof. That time you will realize. So medical insurance is a very, very important financial aspect which the family should look into. And obviously, number third is term insurance. So term insurance again is not an investment tool. It is not for earning money. Earning money we have already discussed about the two options. Term insurance will cover your life for a very big amount, but at a very less premium. So this will act as a amount of lump sum money which will come to our children or our nominee and will safeguard their future forever if something happens to me. So these things provide us coverage or risk possibilities to take care of. They may not really be the right investment tools. And the last part of financial planning which I want to discuss today is retirement. Again, I discussed that not just ladies, even men, till the time of 35, 37, 40, we don't realize the importance of retirement planning, because we feel we are young, we can keep on working and keep on going ahead. But it's very important that by the age of 60, 65, we should be able to collect this much money, or our money over these 40 years of working life should become that much that now that money will take care of our remaining 15, 20 years. Even if you're not able to earn that much, the medical expenses, the household expenses, and this needs to be taken care with the inflation in mind. So whatever 1 crore is okay for today will become 4 crores in next 20 years. So at that time, we require 5 crore for meeting the similar household expense which we are able to make today. So this is something which I thought it's important to understand, that what are the various components of financial planning. And I will just end my presentation with a small discussion on my journey of this learning and how I acquired this interest in financial tools, financial investment methods, how to evaluate, how to compare. So I am an avid reader. I read everything which comes to me, especially on finance and wealth. So I developed this habit of reading ET Wealth. So ET Wealth is a supplementary paper which comes with Economic Times on Monday. And somehow I don't know how I got in touch with the paper. And last 20 years I've been reading it, and I think it has become a kind of a guiding tool and a Bible for me, from where I learned whatever I've learned today. And then there are 2-3 platforms which I generally read, like Money Control. I'm an avid reader, so I keep on learning about the Fed rate change, why the market is going up and down, how it will impact the mutual funds market, how the bond market is changing, what is going to happen to the FD. So I think as a marketing teacher, I teach marketing and strategy papers. My understanding of financial world has actually made me a better marketing teacher also, because I am able to provide a holistic picture to my students with respect to what they should do when they start earning. And then I read Economic Times almost every day, because that habit I got from my MBA days, and I'm thankful for my teachers also for this habit which they inculcated in me. Then I regularly watch YouTube videos of some very knowledgeable financial, you can say, experts, to just know what they are saying. I follow or I don't follow a separate story, but I keep listening. So I keep on taking content and ideas from expert people from all over the world, and I keep on retaining them, and then I make them, use them as and when I feel that, okay, this understanding can be used here. This understanding can help me become a better investor. And then obviously discussion with knowledgeable people, even at office, at home, I keep on brainstorming. I ask people what they do, how are they managing, everything. So I like talk to people who are more educated and more learned than me, because I think every discussion leads to a higher level of learning. Then I think women, it's time to take control over our own financial lives. It is not that you say or you order or you demand, but I think it's a gradual process where we have to get involved with our fathers or brothers or husband in all the financial decisions, and that can happen only when we are informed, when we read a lot, when we have acquired the knowledge. And last of all, this financial knowledge will definitely help us in making the next generation and our children more capable on the financial aspects. So it is not only for us. If we are well educated, we understand the financial world well, and we are financially literate, we would be able to create the next generation, which will be the financially independent India. And they will not be duped by people. They will not be given sold wrong investment tools and policies. They will know what exactly they want, because their financial goals will be right in front of them. So with that, I just end my small talk here, and whatever I wanted to say, I hope that to some extent I've been able to just share whatever I've learned over these last 20 years. And I think we can have a small open discussion. If any member has any questions or they want to say anything or anything, please, I'm open for any questions.
Thank you, ma'am, for your very good talk on the topic financial literacy in general and financial literacy in particular among women. And now the topic is open for discussion. So questions and doubts are welcomed. Please, participants.
I'm also putting my email ID in the chat box in case anyone wants to mail to me or ask me anything. That's Kapoor Komal 23 @gmail.com. So any of my female friends, if they would like to ask me anything or how to go ahead, I'm always open for this thing discussion. Yeah, please, if anyone wants to ask me anything, please, I'm all ears.
Hello, ma'am. Very good evening.
Ma'am, your voice is not audible. Just a minute, ma'am. Just give me 1 minute. I'll put this microphone. Maybe that will improve. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Some data regarding world among men and women. I would like to ask if you want to do a survey or if you want to conduct any research on this thing. So from where we can collect this data, like worldwide data, where you compared some countries. So I would like to know the source code for this thing. And one more question: if we want to conduct it in like a country, so if we want to conduct this kind of study, like financial literacy, awareness of financial literacy among working and non-working women. So should we consider all well working women also or not work? So we can compare.
Yeah, so ma'am, you can do this kind of a survey because you can make a Google Doc, and then there are many groups on LinkedIn and Facebook where you can try to become a member, and then you can ask them. And plus, for the non-working people and their financial literacy, then you will have to in your friend circle, your family, where you know people are not working, so you will have to, so you can create two separate groups of working women and the non-working, so that to understand and make a comparison as to what is the level of literacy with the working women and what are the problems being faced by the non-working, and then you can do a comparison. And if you use LinkedIn and Facebook, you'll be able to get much international participants also, as compared to only the Indian participants. Yeah, so if anyone else is there with any question, otherwise
My another question.
Madam, this is Badiyuddin Ahmad from Hyderabad.
yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I was asking that source of information or source of data.
Ma'am, actually your voice is not audible to me. Can you please type in the chat box?
Okay, ma'am. No, I'm typing there. Yes, ma'am.
So ma'am, I think Jyoti ma'am has asked a question about financial freedom. So basically financial freedom is, when you don't have to worry about earning, and whatever you have earned till now, you have invested in such a good investment methods that they are earning money for you. So when you are free from earning, and when you don't have to worry about earning to meet your needs, that's financial freedom. Because whatever you are doing and work you're doing, so if you're putting your money in the right tools, in the right investment tools, that money will earn money for you and will meet your daily requirements or your household requirement. So freedom means that you don't have to really worry about meeting your financial goals and everything, and you've already done that. So that money will now take care of your future goals. So every one fine day you feel that, okay, ma'am, Ani ma'am, there are many reports by OECD, and then there are reports by Deloitte and McKinsey, which are available online. So you can, take this information about financial literacy and the gender gap from these data. There is a UN data also, there is an OECD data also, and Deloitte and McKinsey report also. So Ani ma'am, you can use that data for doing this kind of research. Right. Rest, I have given my email ID. Anyone, anytime can please put a mail to me. I'll be more than happy to give the answers. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Prakash sir, should we conclude or do we have more questions?
Ma'am, I thank active participants for their questions. And now after this, Dr. Badiyuddin sir, do you want to ask any question?
Yeah. Madam, good evening. This is Badiyuddin Ahmad. My question, rather, is my doubt is that in the male-dominated society, the topic which you have selected for women empowerment, financial literacy, as far as India is concerned, I don't talk about the other country because we being concerned Indian our economy. How does it make it possible? People, of course, metros, at town level, but what about the rural women? They are really deprived of because of the male domination. Whatever they earn, they are not able to save also, saving better. So in this case, what would be the best suggestion from your side, madam?
Right,
What
so I
best
think it's a very
strategy we
good
can
question.
really-
Because even my brother is like 8, 9 years younger to me. So he has the same problem that the youngsters, they keep on spending mobile phones and then this and that, and they don't have the habit of saving. So I think whether it's a daughter or it's a son, what I feel, because I'm also a mother of 2 kids. So I think, sir, it's very important that to some extent we can guide them, but something they have to learn from their own mistakes also. Once they will do some mistake and then they will face the consequences, then they will get the message. Because parents, we keep on telling them, don't do this, focus on savings, think about the future, but they don't understand themselves till the time they face the responsibility. So I think at one point parents should take away their hand away from the kids and let them manage on their own. Like we always say, na sir, a baby of a fish is never taught swimming. They learn swimming themselves. So you have to just leave the kids sometime that, okay, you fall and then you will learn where you're going wrong.
But as far as the India discrimination, the wealth distribution is very, very inequitable. Even then also the problem comes, you need to make big revamp, big change in the society just from the scratch to start with this women empowerment. Once women get empowered, I think the gap between the rich and poor likely to be narrowed down because of this haves
So
and
your
have
voice is
not
breaking
gap,
actually.
increasing phenomenon.
So there's a network issue. I don't understand the question.
Have and have not.
So if you can mention in chat box, I'll be able to read. Because some network issue is there, I think.
My question is that, madam, the gap between rich and poor or haves and have nots is such a big that we are not able to empower the women also.
Sir, I'm really sorry, but I'm not able to understand the question.
Sir, your voice
Okay,
is not clear. Din sir, your voice is not clear. Madam is not
maybe.
getting.
Okay.
That's the problem.
I am
Madam
letting the chat
Madam
box.
is not
I am
getting.
letting chat box. I'm putting in the chat box.
मी घेऊन जातो, माझं भाषण झालं घेऊन जातो, थांब. मी घेऊन जातो रे, भाषण झाल्या. नाही, तू कर की पुन्हा पुढे. Anybody asking question or shall we conclude here?
I'm just putting question in the chat box, sir.
Okay.
I put my question in the chat box, madam.
Please unmute yourself, madam.
Yes, sir. Sir, I completely respect your question. But sir, I also have this concern that the financially or the financial empowerment of women is that it's a two-way process. I mean, it is not that the women have to take empowerment from the men. The women also have to develop their own self also. Because till the time we live in a society where the husband says that I have allowed her to work. This culture has to change. So when the women can become financially independent and empowered, only when she herself from inside feels that I don't have to take empowerment or respect from someone. I have to earn myself. So when she stands for herself, then automatically she will get the respect of her father or husband or even son. So it is not that we have to take respect from someone. The empowerment has to come from within. So when we are educated, we are learned, we contribute towards family decisions, automatically the respect start from there. So our other responsibilities like children and household responsibility then taking care of relatives and everything, that still remains there. But we have to come out of that shell also. Then only the India will progress. Answer this gap between rich and poor is only because of the education gap. If we give the same level of education to both our sons and daughters, this gap will quickly finish. I can assure you that. I think today I am able to say something and discuss something is because of the trust which my father has put into me. I was the eldest child and he has raised me like a son. I was the eldest child, so I think the trust he has put on me is what has made me today. So I think every father will do that to their daughter. Then next 20-30 years we are going to see this change in our country. So I hope that I've answered the question. So it's a gradual process. It may take 2 generations also, but it will happen, sir. I'm definitely sure.
Hope for the best, man. Hope for the best.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Bedkar, for giving this opportunity. Thank you so much, sir.
Now, after this keynote speech and discussion, I would like to invite Chief Organizer and Chairperson of webinar series for his concluding words. Please, sir, welcome.
Thank you, Professor Karar sir, and today's resource person Komal Kapoor madam, organizing committee, all members including Kale sir, Professor Kale sir, Anita Dhole madam, daily joining Prashant Ugade sir, Praveen Udge sir, Karanje sir, all the participants joining here, including Badruddin Ahmed sir, and all the resource persons of this series. March month is the month of the Women's International Women's Day, 8th March. In concurrent with that, this topic is very related to that, women's empowerment of the literacy of the women in the financial case. It's a very best example you have experienced and did research on that. And from that research, you are awareing to all women how we literate about it, how we take care of financial problems. One should know what are the financial provisions did both by husband and wife. They should be know everything from one other, and they should go ahead also with all these things. So this is the problem related to, or the information related to every family, not any community women, because it's very needed information and we have to take care where we invest, how to empower ourselves. So this information was very useful to us. Thank you madam for joining here and accepting as a resource person. We request you to send 2 pages of your speech as a summary to me so that we can include it as our book. And we request you again to promote some your contact women resource person to join here as a resource person, because we have a target of 1000 webinars and mostly 600 we have completed, and we need 400 resource persons, women resource person. It should be our it should be help from you to us. Thank you madam for your studied lecture and with based on your research activities. Thank you madam.
I'll definitely get back to you to know this resource person. We'll be able to speak on different topics,
Yes.
and that will be beneficial to the audience.
Yes.
Definitely, I'll get back to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Just wait
Thank you so much.
Just
sir.
wait for formal vote of thanks from our organizing committee, please.
Thank you, ma'am. You have accepted the invitation of our college and delivered a very nice lecture on the topic and made us aware about the importance of financial literacy, and especially financial literacy among women, which can lessen the gap between rich and poor and help the country and the nation, society and the nation to progress. So on behalf of the organizing committee of webinar series Shri Kumarswami College Ausa, I sincerely thank you, ma'am. I also thank Chief Organizer and Chairperson of this webinar series, Honorable Principal Dr. M. Bedkar sir, who is taking lot of efforts to continue this webinar series and to cater different topics for the audience for their knowledge enrichment. So on behalf of the organizing committee of the college, I also thank him. I also thank all participants who are regularly joining and making this webinar series successful. I thank Dr. Anita Dhole ma'am, who who has given a very nice introduction of today's honorable speaker. And now I request participants, please fill feedback form so that you can have your certificates. And with the permission of Chief Organizer and Chairperson, I declare here that today's webinar is over. Thanks to all. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
उगाडे सर, 7ची वेळ करूनही आपली संख्या तेवढीच राहिली, म्हणजे काही अडचण नाही. 7ची वेळ ठीकच वाटलेली आहे.
होय सर, पण कसं होतंय सर, संध्याकाळचं थोडस आता रुटीन झालेलं आहे आपलं 6 वाजताचं, आणि त्याच्यामुळे म्हणजे मग तेवढा वेळ राखीव ठेवून बाकीची ऍडजस्टमेंट सगळ्यांना होणार नाही असं मला वाटतंय. पण तरी जॉईन होते सगळे.
आता काय उन्हाळा आहे थोडासा
कॉम्पॅक्ट टाइम वाटतोय सर.
वाटला तर, पण आता थोडा उन्हाळा सीझन आहे त्यामुळे थोडंसं खूप लवकर होईल वाटलं ते. त्यामुळे आता इथून थोडंसं उन्हाळा एवढा 7ला घेऊयात, पुन्हा जून पासून 6ला करूयात. आहे ना,
चालेल
चालते.
चालेल. म्हणजे काही शेड्यूल सगळ्यांना म्हणजे चेंज करावं लागतं. जेवढे जॉईन होतात ते
होय.
थोडं आड होईल त्यांच्यासाठी, पण आता राहू दे, बघूया काय.
कारण उन्हाळ्यामुळे जर असं मला सुद्धा 6 खूप लवकर वाटलं 2 दिवस अगोदर. आता खूप गरमी व्हायला लागली आहे, कुणी सहज फिरून येतो, मग 7ला करावं असं वाटलं. हो सर,
बरोबर आहे सर. पण डेली आपले दररोज जॉईन होणारे सगळे होतात सर वेळेवर.
होय
हे आपल्यासाठी फार चांगलं आहे.
करूयात काय तर 7ला, म्हणजे आता उन्हाळ्याच्या दिवसात थोडंसं लवकर, म्हणजे हिवाळ्यातले 6 म्हणजे आताचे 7 सारखेच आहेत.